I go take and do waiting I love, waiting you love, oh. No be waiting I love, oh. Waiting I love, I go do what with all my heart, oh. Go no be vodka, Mr. Money Changer. But I know I know the ways that Mr.
You've been gone, it's an empty home. Come on back where you really belong. You are always welcome home, welcome home. You've been kept down for much too long. Stand up, please, and say I am free. Don't forget you are welcome home, welcome home. Come with me on this happy trip back to the promised land. On this happy trip back to the promised land.
Hello, good evening, and welcome to another edition of Conversation Beyond Borders. We are streaming live on HYT African TV and across all social media platforms, including my personal page, Kiki Mami Ikia. I'm so sorry today. Unfortunately, our guest for the show won't be able to show up because he's got an emergency engagement. And so today is all about me and the Deputy Communication Officer, Fifi Asante in Prairie. We just want to discuss the primaries, especially because it's next week and so everybody is busy. Remember, we have Dr. Baumia, we have Brian Echampon, and then we also have Kennedy Ejapon. And so the grounds of Ghana is very hot. And so everyone seems to be doing something to get their numbers. And so today it's all about conversations. Your views are welcome. Your comment will be read, and whatever that you think about the NPP primaries for 2026. Before we dive into everything, let's go for a quick commercial break. We'll be right back. Stay with me.
Hello, fellow Ghanaians. This is High Commissioner Mrs. Sabazita Benson, High Commissioner to the UK and Ireland. I just want to wish all Ghanaians a happy new year, especially Ghanaians living in the UK and Ireland, and everyone else living in our host country, happy new year. Last year was very successful for us as a mission. We deepened bilateral relations with the UK. We also deepened relations with the diaspora here in the UK through various means, through church visitations, through market outreach, through our own programs that we organized, for instance, like the first ever Christmas carols that we organized at the Church of Pentecost. We also brought in the Ghana card. And as we speak, so far, we have about 241 applications, successful applications on the Ghana card, people who have received their Ghana card. We also resumed our mobile passport services. We did Manchester and we did Dublin. The first quarter we'll be doing Birmingham. So we are looking forward to greater things in 2026. We are calling on everyone to collaborate with us, to work deeply with us. We want to get closer to the people in the diaspora. So as a mission, You'll be seeing us in your communities. You'll be seeing us working with you. We are looking at, for the first quarter of 2026, having some business forums, business summits. We encourage you to look forward to our business summits that we'll be organizing soon. Details will be out soon. So if you're interested in doing business in Ghana as a diasporan or as a business person, when the details come out, you can join us. I also encourage all Ghanaians to register on our website. We want to have a proper database of Ghanaians living in the UK and in Ireland, so that we will be able to know who is who and who is where, just in case of an emergency. So please go online and do register on our website as a Ghanaian. I wish you all a very happy new year, blessed new year. May 2026 be better for all of us. And as a mission, you can definitely count on us. Thank you. Happy New Year.
After a long day at work, there's one thing still on your mind. I need to send money home, and fast. With just one tap on the PayAngel app, you unlock your true power. Zero fees, lightning fast transfers, maximum impact. You soar across cities and oceans. Faster, safer, stronger. Powered by PayAngel, where every transfer is a mission of love. Back home, your family feels it instantly. Joy, hope, and pride. Because when you send with PayAngel, you're not just sending money, you're sending care. Be the hero back home with PayAngel. Zero fees, instant transfers, maximum impact.
Thank you for staying with me and welcome back. And so I have my guests. I have my guest with me, Fifi. Hello, Fifi.
Hey, very good afternoon to
Sorry,
you.
sorry for pulling you out of your closet. I need you on this. How are you feeling?
I'm super. I'm super as usual. Thank you.
You're
And great to
welcome.
see you and great to have you here.
Good to see
Yes,
you.
absolutely unexpected, but it's okay.
Yes,
That is
yes,
what communication is about. You don't have to plan it. It get dumped on you sometimes. You just have to run with it.
that's it. So a lot is happening in Ghana at the moment. We have the NPP primaries coming up, hopefully this week. And we have three amazing delegates who, want to become the next flag bearer of the NPP, the National Patriotic Party. And so I just want you to give me your whole idea of this, primaries, the outcome, not really the outcome, but what message do you think they have for Ghanaians?
Thank you for asking. I think it's important for the opposition or for any country to have a very strong opposition, if I can start from that angle. So to me, the NPP, they have to have a very great leader who could bring them together, not to win election, because we all know the NPP, they're not going to win election for a long time, maybe 32 years time or 40 years, possibly. The party might even be extinct we might not see that party in power again in our lifetime
You seem very
because
confident.
because they did a lot of damage to Ghana, and the Ghanaians know it. They've seen through. They've tested both the NDC and the NPP, and they've seen the party that have Ghana's interest at heart, and that is very, very important. We need to note this. Having said that, I'm not a great believer in one-party state. So the NDC needs a strong opposition that will keep them in check and keep their legs to the fire, somebody will say. Hence, we need the MPP to be that strong opposition because what somebody put it in a different way. He said, look, our enemies are the ones who keep us motivated. So strong opposition is the one that will actually help the NDC to do well. Hence, they have to go and then elect a leader for them to come together and then make sure they put our legs on that fire to keep us in check and ensure that we do what is right as a party as well. You did mention three of those names. I think in no particular order, they have Baumia, which is very well known, former flag bearer from the previous contest that we had or election that we had. They have Kennedy Japan, they have Brana Champon, and then there is Edichun, they are former education minister he was, and then there is Kwamra Japan as well. So these five men who they bringing forward to contest each other for one of them to be victorious and lead the party. We all know what it is. Are they going to do anything different? No, because you look at some of the substances that they've thrown out there, some of the statements. I was reading Brian Champon's statement last night and I just couldn't stop laughing. I read Baumier's one sentence last week. I couldn't stop laughing. And it tells you that the NPP, they have totally run out of ideas. For Baumier to even go far and make a statement that when I'm elected, then I will help Christians to go to Israel, same as the Muslims going to Hajj. And I'm thinking, is that what Ghanaians want? You see, we need to think about sustainable things which are very, very sustainable, sustainability of things. And I don't think this crop of leaders, they think that way. That is why the NDC is different. I don't want to bring the NDC so much into this, but sometimes it's good to compare and contrast. And then Brana Champon making, to me, I see that as very hilarious that, oh, the NDC are actually doing well with the economy, but it's like a lady dressing with a lot of makeups. When it rains, we will see the true colors. To me, first and foremost, I see that as an insult to women. You're not going to tell me that it's makeup that will make women beautiful. No, women are beautiful as they are. Yes, if they want to do makeups, it's up to individuals to do that. For you to make that comparison or that analogy, to me, is very, very disrespectful. And then another thing, he has accepted the fact that the NDC is doing well. Whether with makeups or without makeups, we are doing good. And we will continue to do good. Thank you.
Thank you so much. But in your speech, you made mention of you being disappointed in, Baumia trying to get Christians to Israel as the Muslims are doing. You don't you think, that is what it's also part of his vision, because going to Mecca is Muslims, one of the most important things that they do. And to like other Christians, they want to visit, to this historic background, which is Israel, to be able to know what is happening, especially things related in the Bible. Don't you think that he's trying to make sense in all of this?
No, not at all, because Christians are not primarily eager to go to Israel or to go and visit the historical place of the birth of Jesus and walk that land. If they have individual have their money and they want to do that, it's up to individuals. But it's not anything. We don't go there and offer players as part of our Christian life. Having said that, even if it is, ask yourself, as a state, a third world country, trying to keep economy going, where you have so many complicated issues. You have societal issues. You have issues to do with unemployment. You have issues to do with demarcations. You have issues to deal with water. You have all these issues around you. Then you need to ask yourself: is it Christians going to Israel? Would that help the country? And is that what the Ghanaians are looking for? That's not what Ghanaians are looking for. Let me tell you, sometimes Christianity, we kind of messed it up slightly, but I don't blame him. He's a Muslim as well, so he doesn't understand Christianity. The scriptures speak about once you've done it for a brother, you've done it for me. So Christianity is about making sure the 20 something thousand Ghanaians that get 21,000, I believe, and odd Ghanaians that get killed on our roads every day. Those roads every year. Sorry, those rules are fixed, and to avoid this kind of accidents, making sure the poverty that goes through some of our homes in Ghana, these children have been they are going to be fed, and they're not going to go hungry and see poverty. We have diseases. These are the most important things that as a leader you sit down and you have a look and you sort them out, not taking individual, flying them from one country to another. And I'm not surprised, because this is what they did when they were in power. When the mandate was given to them, do you all remember that they actually imported stones from Israel? What made those stones so special to come and build a national cathedral, to the point that they were saying they were going to serve a biblical menu in the Bible? Is there any special biblical food that Jesus ate? And even if Jesus did, do we have to? These are totally two different climatic conditions and two different regions. So these are misplaced priority. That is how I see it. So they have to go back to the drawing board until the NPP. It doesn't matter who they elect, whether it's Kennedy Japan, whether it's Brana Champon, whether it's Baumia. The NPP, they have to go back and sit down and ask themselves, what have we gotten wrong? And begin to look into it and set it. I think they are years way back from reality. Let me put it that way. That Ghanaians are actually looking for at present.
So I just want to know, with everything you said, do you think the outcome of this primaries is going to affect NPP's chance of next election?
There have been two schools of thought. The first school of thought spoke about why are they doing the primary so early, because what they've done is this time around they're not following the status quo.
Right.
Because normally they'll do it a year closer to election. This time they're doing it so early. And there is also that school of thought criticizes it. And there's also another school of thought, which is also saying, look, we have to do it early. And the reason why we have to do it early is because we want to elect our leader early, so that we will have time to campaign. We will have time to maybe look at some of the reasons we failed as a party. So, and do I go with both schools of thought? Personally, I haven't given it so much attention, but because I'm a communicator, I don't think it makes any difference whether they elect that leader a year to the time or 3 years to the time. It doesn't make any difference. It's about the substance. It's about the deliverables. It's about what you are going to do as a leader. How, look, let's first and foremost look at this. The MPP is in disarray. The MPP has so much internal issues. So possibly, maybe that is the idea, that they'll use the next year, 2 or 3, to try and resolve some of these internal issues before the nitty-gritty. But it doesn't sort any problem for me, or it doesn't pose an issue for me. The reason why I say that is because their own Professor Frimpong Boateng just last week on Paula Adomotri said that, look, the MPP at present is a fake party. And that is one of their own. These are not my words. These are their own faithful professors' words. Said the MPP at present is a fake party. They are all cut from the same crop of tree. Lack of substance, watered down politics that doesn't make sense, division, vindictiveness. Their communicators do not even have what it takes to communicate. You listen to their fine brain communicators, and it reminds me of a scripture that says that that God was telling, I think, the Israelites, that they will make their elders, their rulers, they will give them the brains of children. And I looked at through the MPP. That's how it looks like, based on the kind of words that is coming from there.
But don't you think there's a lot to learn from them, considering whatever that is happening in their party at the moment? Because NDC in no time also be in that position. So don't you think that it's just to learn from them that this is what is going on so you don't repeat their mistakes per what you're telling us now?
Absolutely. I think everything that happens in life, if something is happening to that different organization, political party, and individual, every wise person, you will pick up your notebook and begin to make notes. And I'll quote it in our Akan proverb. My mom used to say, "Unse uyonko abodi se eshia." Sensuo esi wudi ho, and my uncle will come and say, hey, who sensuo esi wudi ho, sensuo gu wudi. So you need to watch it before you even gets there, you know. So it's not one of those situations that we say in a can say a canny and can. No, we need to sit tight. We need to get our pens and our notebooks out, and we need to also make notes, and we need to take some of the lessons that is happening, and what are the lessons that what derailed them first and foremost, what made them go against everything that they promised Ghanaians, and where they are today as a party is selfishness, corrupt to the core, is just for the boys and forgetting about Ghanaians and the country as a whole. And I believe NDC ruling today, look, a lot of praises, but we have a long way to go. We've only done a year. We have 3 more years, and I believe we will take you and we will take lessons from it. No political party, no political party, and I'll say this again, is immune from confusion. But when you take notes and then you plan ahead, then you'll be fine. Look at what is happening to the Conservative Party today. Even the ruling Labour today, and the Benham has been blocked by the Labour committee that no, you are not allowed to come back to Parliament. Why? Because they scared that as soon as Andy Benham, he is the mayor for Manchester, as soon as he comes into Parliament, his vision is to unseat Keir Starmer. So these things happens internally, but we all have to pick, as I said, get our notebooks out, especially the elders of our parties. And look, we've been blessed with some fantastic, great stewards of our party, like Chairman Asiedin Kesia, amazing Chairman, General Secretary Fifi Kuti. These are fine brains. These are experienced men. These are men straight away put measures in place to make sure they mitigate it. And I think that is what the difference is between the NDC and the NPP.
Thank you for such a great submission. So at least Baumia made his, he made it known to all Ghanaians that he was staring at the presidential seat. And so from the onset, everybody in Ghana knew that at some point he may want to become a president. But in the case of Kennedy Japan, there were times where he didn't even want to, he said it publicly that he didn't want to become a president of the nation. And then we have Brian Champon. And then now, all of a sudden, Kennedy Japan wants to become the president of Ghana. What do you think is the core idea behind his presidential bid? Not his personality, but, governing his philosophy. What do you think he wants to change differently, or is he sees that he has got the capacity to be able to become the president of Ghana?
Thank you, Kiki. I think there is a saying that when a country where everyone is blind, the one-eyed man becomes a king. And that is exactly what is happening in the NPP.
That's
When
a serious one.
yes, when everybody is blind, the one-eyed man becomes the king. And no disrespect to the individuals, the seniors in politics. Some of them in there are very well-learned men, and as a party. But when people can see through, and they will be able to tell that, look, we don't have much substance in here. And for that reason, I can also come in and contest. Everybody throws their hat in. And that is exactly what is happening. Kennedy Japan he made it obvious he didn't want to be a president. Sometimes people say these things. It could be they have their interest, but they might have realized that they have no chance. That is one. Or it could be seriously that was what it was, but later on they decided, look, we're gonna change it. I'm gonna come in there. There's this great book written by Machiavelli entitled Prince. And Machiavelli made a very profound statement. He said, the Moses in the Bible that we know today, that all of us have been reading and writing about Moses, anybody who's done religious studies or Bible knowledge or gone to Sunday school, you know the story of Moses and well read about. He said Moses wouldn't have been Moses. And this is from Machiavelli in his book of Prince. He said Moses wouldn't have been Moses if the Israelites has never been taken to where? Egypt. Because if the Israelites were not taken to Egypt, God wouldn't have been looking for somebody to go and bring them back. So how will you have known Moses? So now Kennedy Japan, we've heard the name Kennedy Japan wants to be a president because he smelled a chance. He's seen that, look, Baumia is not fit for purpose. Baumia has always declared his ambition to be a president or to be a leader of the NPP. He's gone first time. It didn't. They behind almost 2 million votes. I was looking at it. It's almost 2 million votes, and for you to be able to change that, turn it around, that is a mountain of a task. For Kennedy Japan to come, he think he has something that the rest of them doesn't have. He can industrialize Ghana within. That's what majority of his statement is centered on. I will change Ghana. I will create jobs. I will do that. The jobs that you think you are good at creating, ask yourself, there are two factors that has made you successful. First and foremost is the NPP contracts that has been given to you. It's the party that you've leveraged on, you've benefited from, that has made you successful. So thinking you'll be able to build factories all across Ghana single-handedly and solve all our job issues, or thinking that you have factories that you can employ and employ and employ. You can't employ all Ghanaians in your factory. So you ask yourself, some of these promises, are they sustainable? Are they really sustainable? Some of these promises, are they sustainable? So these are some of the things that we need to have a look. Look, it's good for somebody to have confidence and say, I can throw my hat in. The question then is, it's one thing to throw your hat in, it's another thing to win it. When they go in nationals next year with the NDC, I can go and say, I want to be Secretary General. I can throw my hat in. So far as I qualify to be, nobody could prevent me from picking up that form and filing it and say, look, I'm among the faces there. But the question is, am I going to win it? But in politics as well, those who have done political studies, I never studied, I never did political studies. I studied leadership and management and in level 7 and what have you. I've never done political studies, but a lot of political studies students will tell you that it's a good popularity for them, in spite of them, who has been MPs before, who have held positions before, who have been ministers before. It's always good for them to actually have that competition, and one day the history books will also have their names written down that they competed this year to become leader of the party. So it's a good popularity contest for them.
So from your standpoint, who do you think, predicting, like the way we predict football scores between two teams, from your standpoint, who do you think can become the flag bearer of the NPP?
I believe it's a very tight contest, but I must say, beginning, it was all Baumia for me. Then I saw Kennedy coming, and I can see the Brana Champon as well, who also has a very strong camp, extremely strong camp. And I'm beginning to like some of the things that, or some of the games that he's playing with the two in pole positions. Because I remember there was a statement by Omia when they made and he said, "Oh, aka 8 or aka 9%. Aka 9,
Right.
yes." You see, Baumia, as usual, trying to play with words and throw dust on Ghanaians or his own parties. And that surprisingly, a lot of people too will believe him. Say, "Oh, don't forget the last one. I can 9% pay. Into Motumamia 9%, and I see the 9% that baby me faba." And then Brad Chanton came in and said to him, "No, and can 9% bill. We have to, you don't have 41 point something that baby alcohol. We need to start all over again, you know." So it's a level playing ground, and I believe that will what will happen. That is exactly what I believe, that it will be a level playing ground for the three. For me to predict, it will be very difficult. It seems Baumia is comfortable. He's well known among his men, well established. But we see it could go either way. It could be him, it could be Kennedy, it could be Brana Champon. Do I lose a sleep over that? No. There is a saying, Madaya, I'm just waiting for whoever they elect, let that person comes, and then we will do a good job on them as NDC communicators.
Great. Dear viewers, let's go for a quick commercial break and then we'll come back to dissect more. Thank you.
After a long day at work, there's one thing still on your mind. I need to send money home, and fast. With just one tap on the PayAngel app, you unlock your true power. Zero fees, lightning fast transfers, maximum impact. You soar across cities and oceans, faster, safer, stronger, powered by PayAngel, where every transfer is a mission of love. Back home, your family feels it instantly. Joy, hope, and pride. Because when you send with PayAngel, you're not just sending money, you're sending care. Be the hero back home with PayAngel. Zero fees, instant transfers, maximum impact.
Thank you for staying with us. Come back. Hello, Fifi. So I'm just on Kennedy Japan. I'm on his case today. We all know that, he has series of confrontations with journalists and critics. And now
sa wo mani sika ifi America memu akofidie enka ni se ja utipa ya kra. If you say PayAngel ediasem panaba. PayAngel se mani sika fi America eko Ghana, Nigeria anase Kenya wasemantem. The money je ni kaso nkokwa ne se o bridge me bia enka ho ena won san chia sika biara eka dia wo mani ne pe ho. Ani zero stress and no hidden charges. Yes, sign our rater a dance ankasa. Into what trend download the PayAngel app nene or Google Play Store and as Apple Store. Then yes, you can PayAngel, global payments, local simplicity.
hello, welcome back, and thanks for staying with us. So, Fifi, I just want to talk a bit. Let's talk a bit about Kennedy Japan. We all know how confrontational he is to journalists and his critics, and now he wants to become president. So, how is it going to be like if he becomes a president and then somebody wants to confront him on issues? Because we all know how radical he can be sometimes. How is the whole country going to be like?
Thank you, Kiki. I think we all know Kennedy is very temperamental. He's the type that I classify as the fruit machine. You press the right buttons, you get luck, you get something good out of him. You don't press the right buttons, then it's just going to behave awkwardly at you or towards you. And we know that. Having said that, let me say this. Many people who do not have the patience or they're very temperamental, sometimes in leadership as well, it works. And why do I say that? Because they could set up a team that could manage them. And he might possibly do that. Is he the type that I think is manageable? I think everybody can be managed. We see similar thing. I remember, was it one of their MPs went on Poladum Autry show, and then he said, "Oh, you can see Trump." And then Poladum Autry, him being a proper MPP, said to him, "That's not a good example." You know, he's changing the world order. And Kennedy could do the same. He can pick up things. He could have an idea in his bath, and the following day who could come and say, "Hey, I'm implementing it," and rip everything apart. That's not what we want as a country. But to me, as I said, yeah. If they vote, they think Kennedy is the right person that they're gonna bring. It's up to them as a party to decide that. If they think it's Baumia, it's up to them as a party to decide that. If they think it's Brian Achampon, it's up to them as a party to decide that. What we need to do is we need to sit tight, and then we need to also tighten our seatbelt, and then also look at where we might have challenges, and then begin to work towards that. The good thing is when we deliver as we've been doing for the past 1 year, they can even go and bring, pardon me, I'm not blaspheming, Jesus Christ, and they're not gonna win. Because individuals do not make party, and individual policies do not work in governance. It's the party. Party is everybody else. They from your ministers, from your advisors, you name it. This is what we're talking about. And I don't think the NPP, the individuals, have the substance to gel with Ghanaians, to come out with anything concrete that will change the views and the perception of Ghanaians to vote for them. So individually, they're not there at all. And then
Are you
Kennedy just
sure?
no,
Are you sure? Because
you
the
can't.
NPP are defending the fact that most of the policies that they've put in place is what the NDC is riding on.
I like it when they say that. When they say that, and then there are certain things that they think the NDC is not doing well, they distance themselves and say, "Oh, we're NDC for there." But you guys are saying everything, you've put everything in place. So take the good and the bad, but they don't. That tells you the strategy of the NPP. Look, I refer people back to Nkrumah's great book that he wrote after the fall of his party, the CPP. Nkrumah's book, The Dark Day of Ghana. If you go and read that book, and then you see the plot, the things the NPP, then Dankwa Buzia party did and said to convince Ghanaians, they even said to the soldiers that there are army that has come to Ghana and attacking Nkrumah, and they've dug from the airport to the castle, and they're dragging all our goods out, and they have to go and throw them. So the army, some of them were killing Nkrumah's men, and they did not even know. At the end of the battle, when they said to them, "But you told us there were no, there were tunnels, and we found no tunnels," they stood there and they laughed at them. That is how the NPP party. Look, me, I'm proper. You can see in my name. This party was born out of tribalism. They are tribal bigots. And apart from being tribal bigots, they lie through their teeth. They know how to convince. They know how to talk. They know how to claim the good things for themselves. If you know policies which work, you had 8 years to rule. You were never able to implement those policies for it to work, only for you to be thrown out of government, for us to come. And within a year, we are doing well. And now, oh, it's all our policies. Really? You see, what requires of amount to mark? That is the NPP we're talking about.
That was a great submission, Fifi. Thank you so much. So let me just ask you this. So many Ghanaians, regardless of Kennedy Japan's temperament and whatever they may think of him. I think most of them are applauding him now because of his fearless, nature of going for this presidential bid. And so if he's able to, become the next flag bearer of the NPP, what do you think, or how is it going to be like? Because we all know that the NPP has divided. We have Alan Tremantin, and then on the other hand, we have the whole NPP trying to get their flag bearer. And so still, how is it going to affect next year's election?
We all know Kennedy Japan is a very divisive figure, and it's sad actually to see Kennedy Japan even trying to be president or trying to lead a party like the NPP with the hope that he could be president one day. Because we've seen Kennedy Japan, who has declared war in Ghana. Kennedy Japan declared war in Ghana. Kennedy Japan actually called, say, we are Santini. If maybe when I finish the P, as he said it, I'll go and then make sure, for the sake of our listeners, you do not understand P. We are Asantini now in Krenia, Fedua Bonitrim. We are Santini now Amonenia, Anasa Igbenia, Fedua Nafa Bonitrim. And then the journalist said to him, this was done on the studio, hey, Kennedy, what are you saying? Are you declaring war? Or say, yes, I'm declaring war. So Kennedy actually declared war in Ghana. Do we have, or do we need, as a country, do we need such a divisive figure to even lead a party? It will be
He was
shameful of
very
the
apologetic. He apologized. Didn't he do that? I mean, forgive and forget.
Anybody can apologize. The armed robber who went and armed robbed and shot a woman, the husband, the children dead when he was caught. He was apologetic. That stop what they've done? It doesn't. The man who went out there and caught a little girl and raped that girl, when he was caught, he was apologetic. The very people who crashed the world economy during the credit crunch, those greedy bankers, when they were investigated and they were asked to face the full force of the law, they were very apologetic. That did it change anything? It doesn't. So that damage has already been done. And that is one of the things that we need to think through as politicians or as communicators. Some of the things that you will be saying and you'll be doing, ask yourself, in 10, 15 years, in 5 years, in 3 years down the line, if you won't be proud to see those videos and you're going to apologize with regards to that, then don't say or don't do them. That tells you this man has no emotional intelligence. And do you want that as a leader? No, we don't. Ghana has come so far. Ghana has come so far. So that is Kennedy's downfall. But I don't think he has what it takes to lead the NPP, not alone to be a president of Ghana. But it's up to the NPP. If the NPP is any serious party, they would have disqualified Kennedy Japan based on those statements. Based on those statements. And said, look, and I would have, and many Ghanaians would have respected the NPP for that. But the NPP are not looking out for Ghanaians, they're looking out for themselves. Hence, they've all been thrown in there. Let them go. That tells you how they've lowered the political bar in Ghana. But as I said in my opening suggestion, we need a very strong opposition, because without a strong opposition, it's difficult for sometimes government to also work effectively. So I want the NPP to get their groove back. They've lost their mojo, and we need that mojo back.
Thank you. That was a very brilliant submission from you, Fifi. Let's go for a quick commercial break and then we come back to wrap up.
After a long day at work, there's one thing still on your mind. I need to send money home, and fast. With just one tap on the PayAngel app, you unlock your true power. Zero fees, lightning fast transfers, maximum impact. You soar across cities and oceans. Faster, safer, stronger. Powered by PayAngel, where every transfer is a mission of love. Back home, your family feels it instantly. Joy, hope, and pride. Because when you send with PayAngel, you're not just sending money, you're sending care. Be the hero back home with PayAngel. Zero fees, instant transfers, maximum impact.
Thank you so much for staying with us. So, Fifi, what is your last message to the NPP about next week's primaries?
I think they, as a party, personally, I don't want to be in a position to advise them. But from my professional point of view, as you've asked, I will say that to them. I think as a party, they have to go there with united front. They have to show Ghanaians that at least the chips are down, but they still have their professionality at least once for the past 8 years, because we haven't seen anything of that sort. The NPP, as I've said a lot about them, they are not being led by great people at the moment, and not just the leaders that they're going to also select, but they have to look at their internal wrangling right from the chairman of the party to their general secretary of the party, their youth organizers, women organizers. The entire NPP needs a proper overhaul. The NPP is smoking like a car whose pistons are gone, and that engine needs taken down and totally overhauled. And that is what the NPP needs. It's not just the leader. It's good to have a leader, but you need what is called in organization for you to be able to influence change. There is something that we call change agent. You can't do it with one person. You can't do it with one person. One person can head, and they have to communicate that information for it to trickle, go all the way down. And sometimes when you still have those behaviors and those cultures in place, it's like organizational reforms. It doesn't work. Every political parties, look, Kiki, I'm one of those that I've always said we need to run political parties like a FTSE 100 company or FTSE 250 company. And some politicians will say to you, no, don't do that because this is politics. These are not corporate organization. But politics, we need to learn from the corporate, the way corporate works. Why? Because corporate has been very successful over the years and politics haven't. So we need to go and learn so much. You'll be shocking to know that leadership is the most, leadership and management, the two, which is twin, they move together, is the most studied and the most researched in academics, but is the one that they can actually understand it less. You can understand it because it involves human behavior. That is why when it comes to leadership and it comes to management, it sits under the faculty of social science. It sits under the faculty of social science because it involves human behavior. Our behavior changes. It depends on our emotions. It depends on so many things, our professionalism and what have you. So the party need to overhaul. The party should not just look at the one leader thinking that they will bring all the change, but they need to overhaul and bring everybody together and create what is called the channel or a chain of a change agent, and then for them to work through to change that party completely. NDC, thank God we have it, and I'll say that again. We have brains, we have leaders who do what is right, who speak when they're supposed to speak, who do not pamper you, and they will be out there to criticize you and at the same time work with you. And thank God for that. The NPP doesn't have it. They have to maybe look at the NDC structures. And surprisingly, they have. They've said it themselves. I've seen videos that they were saying the NPP needs somebody, a leader like Esiedunketia. And I'm thinking, well, are you guys coming to steal him now? Are you guys coming to steal
We
him?
can
So
share because the Nigerians are also requesting for President John Dramani Mahama for just 6
exactly.
months.
Exactly. Yeah. That tells you the kind of leaders that we have. And they don't operate by themselves. They've built a whole chain of change agents around them. And they're making our party, the NDC, very, very successful. So the NPP have to possibly, they should drop their arrogance, pick up their pen and papers, and begin to make notes from the NDC's campus way. And that might help them. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Fifi, for stepping in on such a short notice. And to our viewers, thank you so much for staying with us today. And up until next week, it's still Conversation Beyond Borders. Good night.
You've been gone, it's an empty home. Come on back where you really belong. You are always welcome home, welcome home. You've been kept down for much too long. Stand up, please, and say I am free. Don't forget